Okay, let's kick things off. Imagine for a moment the sheer challenge of collecting and then actually understanding feedback from nearly a million people.
A million people. Wow.
Yeah, and not just any people. We're talking about a global community spread across, what, over 200 countries? Different languages, different needs?
It sounds almost impossible. How do you even begin to take that mountain of responses and, turn it into something useful, something actionable that can genuinely change a company's direction?
Exactly. It feels like trying to climb Everest, organizationally speaking, moving past just guessing, gut feelings.
And find something real, like a truth serum, as they apparently called it, or a compass for making actual changes.
Precisely. And that's the fascinating journey we're taking you on today.
So what's the specific focus?
Our deep dive mission today is into the ONPASSIVE LLC Executive Survey. This was a huge internal project, pulling in, believe it or not, over 900,000 responses.
900,000 from 212 countries. That's a remarkable scale.
It really is.
Yeah.
So we're going to unpack how ONPASSIVE used this massive survey to really carve out a new direction in data-driven decision-making.
Going beyond just collecting forms, right?
Right. The CEO's view was quite interesting here. He said, surveys are not just forms, they're voices. That perspective seems key.
And it sounds like that philosophy helped turn this survey into what they termed a bridge to the hearts and minds of their whole global community.
Yeah, exactly. Less about just ticking boxes, more about actually connecting.
Makes sense. It wasn't just data points. It feels like they were trying to build something deeper.
So let's dig into that a bit more. Why gather all these voices? What was the core purpose? Surely not just a casual check-in at that scale.
Oh, definitely not casual. Their head of global research, Dr. Susan Parker, she nailed the purpose down to one word: alignment.
Alignment.
Yeah. The main goal was getting that real-time, completely unfiltered feedback straight from their global user base. They needed to know what people loved, what drove them crazy, and crucially, where the big gaps were and what they offered.
And the strategy behind doing something so ambitious, was it like a PR stunt or something deeper?
Much deeper, it seems. The COO, Rashid Ali, he really stressed this was about system recalibration, fundamentally.
System recalibration.
They needed a solid compass to guide them, especially before a big relaunch, something tangible, not just assumptions. The CEO, Ash Mafare, even called it their truth serum.
That's a pretty strong metaphor. A truth serum for the business.
It really underscores their commitment to getting those raw insights, doesn't it? Definitely points to a core strategic move, not just marketing fluff.
Absolutely. So nearly a million voices, all these different cultures, contexts. How on earth did they structure that feedback pipeline? That must have been an incredible organizational challenge.
It certainly was. But they tackled it pretty methodically, actually, used a phased rollout.
Phased, how did that work?
Well, phase one was all about tool-specific feedback. So looking at their main products like OMail, their email service,
Okay.
OConnect, the video conferencing platform, and ONet, their social network tool. Getting down to the nitty-gritty on those.
Right, starting specific. What was next?
Phase two then moved on to the commission structure and affiliate satisfaction. That's often a really sensitive, critical area for businesses with affiliate models. Right?
Definitely. And phase three?
Phase three tackled the common hurdles people faced when first joining the onboarding process, and also the general user interface experience, how it felt to use the whole system.
What really gets me, though, is the global aspect. How did they make sure that all those diverse voices from so many places were genuinely heard and, maybe more importantly, understood? Localization must have been key.
Absolutely. And this is where their approach, which they called inclusion on passive style, really shone.
Inclusion on passive style. Tell me more.
Well, Carlos Ortega, their manager for Latin America, point out they did more than just translate. In LATAM, they localized the surveys, used culturally sensitive prompts, offered dedicated Spanish versions.
So really tailoring it.
Exactly. And he said it led to massive participation because people felt it actually spoke to their experience. It wasn't just a generic form.
That makes a huge difference. What about other regions?
Yeah, another great example came from John Kimani, their tech officer in East Africa. He mentioned they actually partnered with digital hubs.
Digital hubs, like community centers.
Pretty much. Places offering internet access and training. They use these hubs to reach founders in more rural areas who might not have had easy access otherwise.
That shows a real commitment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Going the extra mile to ensure no one was left out.
Definitely. Inclusion on passive style, as they put it.
Okay, so they collected this vast amount of data. They ensured global reach, got incredible participation. But what did they actually find? What were the big takeaways, the high-impact insights from this ocean of feedback?
Right, the payoff. After wading through almost 1 million responses, they boiled it down to 6 major high-impact areas.
6 key areas. What were they?
Well, first, there was confusion around commission clarity. Pretty common issue with complex pay structures, but clearly a big one here.
Okay, commission confusion. What else?
Concerns about tool overlap. People weren't sure how some of the different tools fit together, maybe, signaling a need for clearer product roles or better integration.
Tool overlap. Makes sense.
Then, a really clear demand for AI simplicity. Users wanted the power of AI, but without it being overly complicated.
Interesting. Keep it simple.
Exactly. Also, a strong desire for more regional content. People wanted stuff that felt relevant to their specific area.
Localization again?
Yep. Plus, a real eagerness for mobile-first apps reflecting how people use tech globally now, right? And finally, significant fears around verification and security. Trust is huge online.
Verification and security, always critical. So those are the 6 findings. What did they do with one? Did these insights just sit in a report? Or did they actually drive real change? Because that's often the stumbling block, isn't it? Translating insights into action.
That's the crucial part, yeah. And it seems they really did act on it. These insights directly led to some significant internal shifts.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, so the feedback on commission clarity. That directly resulted in them tweaking the algorithms in their O-wallet system, the one that handles payouts.
Hitting the core systems.
Right. And the user interface for OConnect, that got simplified based on feedback. Plus, they started segmenting content within their whole ecosystem, the OES, by region to address that demand for localized stuff.
So pretty specific changes driven by specific feedback.
Exactly. It shows how that granular feedback can really pinpoint where product teams need to focus to make things better for users, often quite quickly.
That's impressive for the behind-the-scenes stuff. But what about changes users could see and feel more directly? Any examples of rapid, tangible actions?
Yeah, Rashid Ali, the COO, mentioned that Omail's upgrade plan got fast-tracked because of specific user requests from the survey.
Okay, faster improvements.
And the affiliate dashboards, a really key interface for their community, they got a complete redesign based on feedback about making them clearer and easier to use.
That's a big one for affiliates.
Huge. And they didn't just roll out new payout models blindly. They tested them first with a group of 500 selected founders.
Getting feedback on the changes themselves.
Precisely. Real-world feedback on the proposed solutions. It's a smart, iterative approach, especially when you're changing compensation,
Definitely. So beyond the features and the dashboards, what about the human side of things? Did this impact the users, the founders on a deeper level? Maybe rebuild some trust?
That seems to be a major outcome. Carlos Ortega, the LATAM manager, shared a really powerful example. They introduced something called mentorship lanes in Latin America.
Mentorship lanes? What's that?
It came directly from survey comments like, we need guidance, not just access. So it wasn't just about the tech, but providing support systems.
So addressing a need beyond just features.
Exactly. And Miriam Njenga, a lead founder in Kenya, she also mentioned that founder feedback about delays, things taking too long, directly pushed the exec team to double down on delivery timelines.
So holding them accountable.
In a way, yeah. Showing responsiveness not just to product ideas, but also to concerns about pace and delivery.
It sounds like it wasn't just about refining the product then, but also about actively rebuilding trust. Did that actually work? Did people feel heard?
It seems so. Miriam Njenga ran some focus groups after the survey actions started happening, and she said the consistent feedback was, I feel like ONPASSIVE is listening again.
That's powerful. Listening again.
Very. And the CEO, Ash Mufareh, he put it bluntly, trust is oxygen. The survey, and more importantly, the visible actions that followed, gave people solid proof that ONPASSIVE was genuinely paying attention, and that's just fundamental for keeping a community engaged long-term.
That's a huge benefit for the existing community. Were there any, unexpected side effects? Did new groups start showing interest because of this shift?
Yeah, actually. John Kamani from East Africa shared something pretty interesting. University students started joining the ONPASSIVE ecosystem, the OES.
University students, why?
Because the system now felt, in his words, localized and relevant to them. They were even using OConnect for virtual seminars.
Wow, so the localization efforts directly attracted a whole new demographic.
Seems like it. It really shows how truly listening and adapting based on feedback can organically open doors to entirely new user segments you might not have even targeted initially.
This whole process sounds like a textbook case, maybe even better than a textbook, on how to do feedback loops at scale. Are they sharing this? Is it becoming like a case study?
It is, actually. Dr. Susan Parker, the research head, mentioned they're now presenting this survey success story at global AI conferences.
Makes sense. Why?
Well, because apparently very few companies manage to successfully blend AI, large-scale community feedback, and business strategy all together in such a joined-up way. It really highlights the power of putting users right at the center.
And speaking of AI, how does feeding nearly 1 million human responses into their system affect their AI development? You mentioned a human-AI fusion. That sounds intriguing.
Yeah, Ash Mufareh explained they actually used this massive data set from the survey to train their own ONPASSIVE AI.
Train the AI on the survey data.
Exactly. So the AI now understands, as he put it, what real users want, not just algorithms.
Huh. So the AI learns user needs directly from users.
That's the idea. This human-AI fusion implies something pretty cool. You're not just optimizing code based on clicks or whatever. You're actually teaching the AI about genuine human needs and preferences, potentially making it less biased than AI trained on more generic data.
That's a fascinating angle.
And Rashid Ali, the COO, summed it up well. He said they've effectively built a culture now where feedback equals fuel. It powers everything.
What an incredible journey we've just unpacked, from that daunting mountain of responses to a fundamentally recalibrated system and, it sounds like, a genuinely revitalized community.
It really was. The survey became, as they described it, a mirror, showing them exactly where they stood.
And a turning point for their whole strategy.
Definitely. And as John Kamani put it was the first step to making OnPassive a people-powered AI brand.
And the big lesson learned.
According to Carlos Ortega, it was the absolute need to act on data, not ego, which is, let's face it, a vital lesson for any organization swimming in information, right?
Absolutely. So wrapping this up, what does this story mean for you, our listener, whether you're running a company, a team, or just managing your own life and relationships?
Well, the CEO, Ash Mufareh, left us with a really profound thought. He said, this survey reminded us why we started, for the people, by the people, with AI as the bridge. And now we're listening louder than ever before.
Listening louder than ever before. That really makes you think, doesn't it? What does it truly take for any organization, or even just for you personally, to listen that deeply?
And not just listen, but integrate that feedback so completely that it actually changes your direction.
Right. And how can technology, like AI, play a role? Can it help amplify that genuine human connection and responsiveness, or does it risk getting in the way?
That's something worth pondering, isn't it? How do we build truly responsive systems, truly responsive relationships in this increasingly complex world? Flow.
Exactly. Potential customers, maybe collaborators, connections, all funnel directly to you inside this system. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the ONPASSIVE ecosystem, or OES. You've probably heard the buzz.
Yeah, especially that huge number they talk about.
That's the one. Over 12.5 million active traffic users. It's a massive claim.
It really is.
So our mission today is basically to unpack that. What does 12.5 million really mean here? Where is it coming from? And, the big question, how does it actually impact you if you're operating in the digital world?
And we've got some interesting material to work with, excerpts from an OnPassive conversation featuring the founder, Ash Mufareh, plus analysts, a developer.
And even an affiliate and a founder from within OnPassive. So multiple viewpoints.
Yeah, should give us a good picture.
All right, let's dive in. That core claim first. 12.5 million plus unique traffic streams.
And right away, they're very specific. This is described as live, verified, AI-curated traffic,
Right.
meaning they're explicitly saying it's not bots. That's a big distinction in this space,
Absolutely. Bots can inflate numbers like crazy. So 12.5 million real users, active users.
That's the claim. Live, verified, AI-curated.
That number itself, 12.5 million. I mean, how significant is that compared to, say, established platforms trying to grow?
Oh, it's huge. Many top-tier platforms would, frankly, kill for that kind of verified active user base, especially if it's growing organically.
So it puts OnPassive in a different kind of league, doesn't it?
It potentially does, and their whole philosophy seems different. Ash Mufareh apparently talks about not chasing traffic, but generating it from within the ecosystem itself. He calls it the oxygen of the system.
Oxygen, implying it's essential, self-sustaining.
That seems to be the idea. Like the activity inside ONPASSIVE creates more activity, more traffic.
Yeah.
It feeds itself rather than relying purely on external ads.
Interesting model. Okay, so how did they get to 12.5 million? Was there a sudden explosion or?
While the material suggests it was more of an organic build, starting from the beginning, they talk
Yeah.
about building trust, global marketing, founder engagement. These founders seem key, like early adopters who are really invested.
Right. And AI systems playing a role from the start, too.
Exactly. But there was definitely an acceleration point. The sources point to around 2021
Okay.
when specific on-passive tools started getting real traction. Fatma, the affiliate in the script, she mentions things really taking off with tools like OTrim,
OTrim, that's the link shortener.
yeah, the advanced one, and OMail, their secure email, and ONET, the social network platform.
So usage of the tools themselves started driving referrals and growth.
It seems so. Plus, the traffic analyst mentions a mix of other things: YouTube campaigns, AI-driven SEO, email automation, and importantly, word of mouth from those passionate founders and users. That seems to be a big factor.
Okay, so a multi-pronged approach, but with significant internal momentum.
That's the picture painted, yes.
So let's get practical. If you're a user or one of these founders inside OES, what does this 12.5 million traffic figure actually do for you?
Well, the way it's framed, it's like a gold mine, potentially.
Gold might have.
Potential customers, subscribers, maybe team members if you're building something, all within that closed ecosystem.
And we have examples of this, like real users seeing benefits.
Yeah, the source material gives a couple. Mark, the OnPassive founder, he apparently talked about leads just dripping in from previews of OConnect.
OConnect, that's the webinar platform.
Video conferencing, webinars, yeah. So just from previews, he's seeing leads.
Without him actively pushing it externally.
That seems to be the implication in that specific example. And then Fatima, the affiliate,
Uh-huh.
her story was about ONET, the social platform. She apparently went from maybe 200 followers to over 30,000 on her monthly reach.
Wow, okay. And how?
Attributed directly to the internal reach tools within ONET, so the system itself amplifying her presence.
Okay, so volume matters. But you mentioned AI curated earlier, and Ash Mufari talks about intelligent traffic. What's the intelligent part?
Right, that's crucial. It's not just throwing millions of people around randomly. The AI is key. Its main job, basically, is to watch how people behave inside the OES. What do they click on? How long do they engage with certain tools or content? What are their preferences?
Okay, so it's learning user behavior.
Constantly. And then the intelligent part is it uses that understanding to redirect similar users to relevant stuff.
Ah, so if I'm interested in, say, e-learning tools.
Exactly. If someone else in OES has an e-learning product or service, the AI might identify you as a good match and subtly push that product your way or connect you with communities interested in that.
So it's trying to predict relevance.
Precisely. It's aiming for quality connections, not just quantity.
That sounds potentially very powerful. Can you give us a sense of the speed or precision? Like, what does that feel like for someone using the system?
Well, imagine launching something new inside OES. A product, a service, maybe even just a piece of content.
Okay. Instead of the usual grind, SEO, external ads, social media campaigns, the idea here is the system's AI could connect your launch to thousands of interested users, potentially within minutes.
Interested being the key word there.
Absolutely. That's why they call it predictive traffic. It's not just raw numbers, it's numbers that the AI predicts are much more likely to actually engage or convert because their past behavior indicates interest.
That shifts the focus from user acquisition to user matching, almost.
Sort of, yeah. Leveraging the existing internal user base intelligently.
But how does this traffic get distributed? If there are millions of users and potentially thousands of founders or businesses, how do they ensure everyone gets a piece of the pie? Does it just go to the most popular people?
That's a really important question, and they seem to have a specific mechanism for it. They call them intelligent rotator systems.
Rotator systems, like a round-robin sort of thing. Kind of, but intelligent. The description suggests they're designed to make sure every founder gets a share of the traffic flow, even those who maybe aren't super active marketers themselves.
So it tries to level the playing field a bit, avoid the rich get richer scenario.
That seems to be the goal. To eliminate what they call the grind model, where you constantly have to hustle and often pay just to be seen, this system aims to handle some of that distribution automatically.
Do we have examples of that working? The auto distribution?
Yes, actually. Mark, the founder we mentioned earlier, he specifically noted seeing leads assigned to his affiliate panel automatically, without him paying for ads. He mentioned ONPASSIVE handled the advertising side.
Okay, so the system itself was driving leads to him.
That's what he reported. And Fatima, the affiliate, she mentioned getting messages through OMail about webinars relevant to her interests. Webinars she hadn't actually directly promoted herself.
Implying the system identified her interest and pushed the info.
Right. It suggests the OES was actively distributing relevant content and opportunities based on user profiles, not just waiting for users to find things.
Okay, 12.5 million now.
Yeah.
You mentioned projections. Where do they see this going?
Well, the phrase used in the material is that the system is just warming up.
Warming up with 12.5 million users.
Yeah. The expectation mentioned is hitting 50 million active traffic flows by the end of the year.
50 million. Wow.
And they apparently consider that a conservative estimate.
That kind of scale has massive global implications, doesn't it?
Absolutely. They specifically talk about global reach, mentioning regions like Africa, Asia, Latin America as becoming traffic leaders within OES. This could potentially shift some power dynamics in the tech world, fostering digital economies in places maybe underserved by traditional Silicon Valley platforms.
And just to be clear, when we say traffic, it's not just individual people clicking around.
No, that's a good point to reiterate. The sources indicated includes businesses, even governments, educational institutions.
So organizations looking for AI tools and automation solutions provided within the OES.
Precisely. It broadens the scope considerably beyond just B2C interactions. It's B2B, B2G, etc., all potentially happening within this ecosystem.
It's a bold vision.
Hmm.
These claims about AI-driven traffic, auto distribution, they sound almost too good to be true sometimes. Do we have any more, really immediate, tangible results people have seen?
There are a couple more specific examples cited. Mark, again, reported seeing 17 organic signups hit his affiliate panel one morning.
Organic meaning?
Meaning not from his direct promotion, attributed to the system's traffic. And these were from Nigeria and Canada, showing that global reach in action.
Okay, 17 signups overnight, basically.
In a morning, yeah. And Fatima with her ebook.
Right, what happened there?
She apparently put it on the OES Marketplace. That's their internal platform for digital products and services. It got 2,000 downloads in just 3 days.
2,000 with no external ads.
According to the source, yes. No external advertising push from her. It was attributed purely to the visibility and traffic within the OES Marketplace.
That really does highlight the potential power of having such a large, engaged user base already built in, doesn't it? If the system can effectively connect creators with interested users.
Exactly. It suggests the 12.5 million plus number isn't just vanity. It's an active base that can drive real results for people within the system.
So wrapping this up, thinking about everything we've discussed, what's the final thought for you, our listener? It really makes you consider what it means to be part of a digital ecosystem that isn't just passive, isn't just a set of tools you use in isolation.
Right. One that actively works to generate and share the most valuable online commodity traffic attention among its participants.
It kind of flips the script, doesn't it? From constantly chasing visibility to potentially having it curated and directed to you.
It's a different way of thinking about online reach and engagement, definitely. More cooperative, perhaps.
So, the question to ponder is, what possibilities could a system like that, if it truly delivers on these promises, unlock for your own digital projects, your business, your ideas, when the platform itself is designed to help you grow?
Lifetime wealth, they say.
Exactly. Lifetime wealth without the usual grind of marketing or recruiting people yourself. It's definitely a bold idea.
It grabs your attention, for sure.
So our goal today is to really explore the mechanics they're describing. How do they say this works?
Yeah, absolutely. And for this, we've gone through about, 100-minute panel discussion.
That's the one.
Yeah, featuring ONPASSIVE's founder and CEO, Ash Mufareh, but also AI engineers, tech analysts, digital strategists, and even some founding members were there.
A real mix of perspectives.
Definitely. So our mission essentially is to unpack how ONPASSIVE claims it provides this lifetime wealth through automated AI traffic. We want to understand the system they present.
And the core claim, right, from Ash Mufareh, it's quite something. He said, and I'm quoting here, "Traffic is not a product, it's the life force of online wealth."
Okay.
And ONPASSIVE is the only company that builds automated, AI-driven traffic pipelines for its founders. You don't need to sell. You don't need to recruit. Our AI does it for you forever.
Wow. Forever. That's the hook.
It really is. And, for anyone who's been in the online business world, hearing automated wealth without effort.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it raises eyebrows, doesn't it?
Instantly, you think, okay, what's the catch, or how does that actually function?
Precisely. So let's dive into the mechanisms described in that panel. What's supposed to make this happen?
Okay, so how does this automated traffic actually get generated? That's the big question.
Yeah, what's under the hood?
Well, according to one of the tech analysts on the panel, Dr. Kavita, they describe ONPASSIVE's traffic model as having, what, four main engines.
More engines, okay.
First up is something called O-Tracker.
Mm-hmm.
They claim this tracks user behavior across literally millions of websites.
Millions. How?
Well, the panel didn't detail the exact tech or data methods behind tracking on that scale, but the stated scope is huge. That's the first piece.
All right. What's next?
Then you've got OCreate working with ODomain. This combo is apparently for automatically generating SEO-ready websites, specifically for the founders.
So instant online presence, kind of.
That seems to be the idea. Third, there's ONet and OConnect. These are described as tools to build massive organic and viral social traffic funnels.
So leveraging social media without the founder managing it.
That's the implication. And finally, OLead and OBless. These are supposedly designed to turn that initial visitor interest into, well, an emotional connection and keep them engaged long-term.
Emotional connection. That's an interesting angle for AI.
It is. It suggests a focus beyond just clicks, aiming for retention.
That whole package sounds quite comprehensive, I have to say. It actually reminds me of something Derek, one of the founding members on the panel, mentioned.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
He sounded genuinely relieved, saying he doesn't worry anymore about where to get people.
Ah, the classic online business struggle.
Right. He said ONPASSIVE sends them. Qualified, filtered, and ready to buy or join my team. Yep. Which really points to that intended departure from the usual model where you're always chasing leads.
Absolutely. And that ties into what the AI engineer Rajdeep called the secret sauce, these AI funnels.
AI funnels. Tell me more about that.
He explained it as a system that analyzes human psychology and browsing habits, but in real time.
Real-time psychology analysis.
According to Rajdeep, yes. He said the AI knows when to show your link, what message to show, and which product or service the user is most likely to buy. It's basically predictive analytics applied to sales timing and messaging.
And this runs constantly.
Right.
Everyone.
204/7 for every founder, that's the claim.
Yeah.
Rajdeep gave this really vivid example.
Yeah.
He said, you could be asleep and someone in Dubai clicks your OShop link, watches an OConnect webinar, and buys through your referral.
Ah, the dream scenario.
Exactly. You just earned a commission while dreaming. That's the ultimate passive income pitch right there.
It really is. Okay, but one of the things that really stood out from the panel discussion was this idea that ONPASSIVE itself pays for the advertising.
Right. That's a huge point.
Founders apparently don't need their own marketing budget to get this traffic. How did they explain that?
Well, Grace, who was presented as a founder coach, stated pretty clearly that the initial founder position comes with automated traffic delivery. For life.
For life. Wow.
And Ash Mufareh backed this up. He explained that founders get permanently linked into the whole ONPASSIVE ecosystem.
Link? How?
The idea presented is that the company, using its AI, sends traffic directly to the founders' specific links, their sites, even builds their teams for them, and it optimizes constantly until the revenue supposedly snowballs.
Snowballs.
Yeah.
That implies growth over time. But it does make you wonder about the financial sustainability, right? Funding ads for potentially millions of founders forever.
Yeah. It's a huge question. The panel seemed to address it by pointing to the company's own growth and the scale of the entire ecosystem generating revenue, which then fuels this traffic engine. It wasn't broken down in detail, but that was the rationale offered.
Okay, so the company's success fuels the founder's traffic.
That's the model they describe. And this ties into another strategy they mentioned, permanent placement.
Permanent placement.
Yeah, this was explained by Michael, a growth strategist on the panel. What's really interesting here is that every founder is apparently assigned a position in what they call a global matrix.
A matrix.
Yeah.
Like in network marketing?
It sounds very much like that structure, yes.
Yeah.
It's a common setup where new people joining customers or other affiliates are placed in the structure under existing members.
Ah, I see.
So as ONPASSIVE grows, the system automatically puts these new signups under the existing founders. This is how they say volume and growth are created for founders, even if they don't personally recruit anyone.
Right. So your position matters.
Right.
We actually heard a concrete example of this from a founder named Angela.
Yeah.
She said, last month, I didn't refer anyone, but my team grew. Why? Because traffic was working for me. That's the dream.
That perfectly sums up the appeal, doesn't it?
It really does. And it echoes what Ash Mufareh said. You don't need to be an expert, you just need to be in. The system rewards you passively forever.
Hmm.
Again, that word, forever.
It's a powerful promise. They also talked about the scale involved, calling it the traffic avalanche.
An avalanche.
Oh.
Okay, let's hear the numbers.
Well, the tech analyst on the panel put out some big